Why y'all doing? Lord of mercy, I'm Dan and I'd like to welcome everyone to my home in the sticks. Wherever you're at in the world, I hope you had a great week and I hope everything's good with you. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always going to say that if you are new to this channel, I want to welcome you. And if you return and just see what old Dan's got going on over her, I sure enough thank you for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is, Lord of mercy, I want to show you something that I had to replace. Been using it for probably, I don't know, 3 years to just take the chill out of the air in my shop. So we finna get out of this cold, and it's probably about 28 degrees, 27 degrees right now. We're gonna get off in this shop. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Dan, what you got going on over there at the home in the sticks now? Well, I'm here to tell you. About 2-3 years ago, I did a kind of like a demo and a review on a product made by Dura Heat. It was titled 360 Degrees of Heat. And I'm here to tell you it works. It worked really, really well. Dan, what do you need it for? Well, here in my shop, I spend a lot of time in my shop, and in the evenings when I get home from work, I like to take the chill out of the air. This is a 50 by 50 shop, so I like to take the chill out of the air, just warm it up just a little bit, and then I'll end up cranking up or starting up my wood burner, which I got going right now. I call it the 360 heater. I use it just to get the chill out of the air, warm up the shop just a little bit while I'm getting my wood burner going, and then I just shut it down. So I've used it for 3 seasons regularly, and I mean I've used it dang near every day. But here is the old heater right here, and this is the Dura Heat 360. I don't know exactly what's going on with it. It probably needs to be blown out just from the dust from being in the shop. But it started acting kind of toothy and acting weird. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'll probably just take it apart, get out the can air or maybe the compressor in the off season, blow everything out. Maybe I can get it working back again. What had happened was, here is the source to allow the propane, and this is a propane heater. To press that button and it allows it to go up this tube. It enters this chamber here. You use a match or a lighter. You light it up, this glows, it throws off heat, 360 degrees, because it's round. But it started acting up and going out. And I was like, well, can't have that, because maybe on a weekend I'm down here, I really want to heat up my shop really, really fast. I light this up and I can get up to 65, 67 degrees within a matter of 15 minutes. So it works really, really well. And this thing, I want to say, pumps out 30,000 BTUs at its max. So yeah, this is the replacement for the 360 heater, and this is made by Mr. Heater. It is basically the same thing. It is a propane heater. It's a top mountable propane heater. And looking at this thing, it's pretty much 360 as well. It doesn't have the surface area that the 360 has, but in principle, in theory, it does the same thing, but it does a lot more things than the 360 heater. It's got 3 settings, 30,000, 36,000, and 45,000 BTU. So it'll get with it. But the thing about it is, I will never run this thing at 45,000 BTU for any reason unless it gets seriously really cold down here in East Central Mississippi on the farm. So I run it on I ran a 360, and I'm going to run this one on really, really low settings. And I'm going to show you a little hack how you can achieve a really low setting on this heater. And for one, you can conserve a little bit of propane, and 2, it won't just get screaming hot because of the 3 settings. So I'm going to point you down. We're going to take a look at this new heater made by Mr. Heater, and it really doesn't have a name. It's got a model number. I'm just going to call it the new 360 heater. So let me show you. All right, here it is, and I have this guy mounted on a 10-pound propane bottle, and it's basically a 360 heater as well. It's got the heating element on the inside of it, covered by screen and mesh. And this is the Mr. Heater model number MH540T Tango. And it's a clamp-on style. It clamps onto the ring of the propane tank, which I will say you need a ring on your propane tank for this to work, but it clamps on there with this thumb screw. Here's how you connect the fitting to the propane tank. Here is your controls. You got high, medium, and low. Here is your supply. You push this in to get propane, send propane up this tube to this to ignite it. And that's it. It's pretty simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light it up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like running. And I'm also going to show you the little hack that I discovered by accident, really. But yeah, let's do that. All right, we're going to turn our propane on. We're going to turn this guy to about low just to get it started. We're going to press this button here to allow the propane to flow to this dome. You can probably hear it. I'm going to light it up. There it goes. You hold that button for, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds. You can release it. Now that dome is going to start glowing and radiating heat 360 degrees. Now this is at its lowest setting. This is going to be the 30,000 BTU setting. It's really throwing off the heat. I mean, you can't hold your hand up here for very long, so it gets hot fast and it throws off that heat. So that's the 30,000 BTU setting. That's the 36,000 BTU setting. And that's the 45,000 BTU setting. And you can see that this thing is glowing red hot. Let's go and crank it down to the low setting. So as I was saying, I have no reason to burn this thing or light this thing or get this thing going at 45,000 BTUs. Just don't need it. Way too hot. I've been up in here sweating. My main objective having one of these is just to get the chill out of the air. And I'm sure y'all know what I mean. You walk into a cold house, cold cabin, cold shop, whatever, your garage. You walk in and you get that, whoo, dang, because it's chilly. This right here will knock the chill out of the air, and I'm telling you it will. I'm going to caution you though, if you read the instructions, this thing doesn't have an oxygen sensor or oxygen shutoff sensor or anything like that. You need to make sure you use something like this in a really, really well ventilated place. Now again, my shop is 50 by 50. I got cracks and holes and drafts all over the place. So I don't have any problems using this in my shop. I also have a fire and carbon monoxide detector in the shop, so if anything should happen, I'm sure I'll be warned by something. So let's go down a little bit more, and I'm going to show you the settings and a little hack that I'm talking about. We can see right here that we have a L, a M, and a H representing low, medium, high. Here's an O-ring. It's just an O-ring. You could find this at the Lowe's, auto parts place, and it's basically and what it is, it's just the circumference of this dial right here. And hopefully you can see this, but right here there's just a groove between the metal and the plastic. This right here. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking this O-ring and I'm just putting it on there, rolling it up on there, and I'm sliding the O-ring into that groove. Just like that. And all it's doing is it's binding it up a little bit where you could just barely turn it on if you want to. And it works pretty good. It's worked really well for me. If you want to conserve a little bit of propane and technically run your heater a little bit lower in BTUs than what it's supposed to, this is a way to do it. And it's worked for me, so maybe it'll work for you. Just be careful and watch what you're doing, and it should work. Okay, I just went ahead and shut this thing down because I don't want it to get super crazy hot in my shop. But another feature of this heater is it pivots. This whole head pivots. There's this little handle right here, and you could pull it up, you could bring it down, and it changes the angle of the head. So if you have an area, say that way, that you want to heat up, you can light it up, just point it in the direction that you want you want to heat up. So this whole head pivots, which I thought was a really nice feature of this Mr. Heater 360 head. So yeah, that works too. Or it could be beneficial anyway. Well, all right, that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. Lord of mercy, a little product review of the new Mr. Heater 360 heater that I'm using in my shop just to knock the chill out of the air. Works really good. I think it's gonna maybe outdo the Dura Heat 360 heater just because it has a lot more options and it burns a little bit hotter with the 3 settings, the 30,000, 36 and 45,000 BTUs if I'm not mistaken. Something that I will probably definitely not use or need to run that high, but if in the case that I needed to, I can. Also, the little hack that I showed you with the O-ring that you can run on the little settings knob, it works. If you want to run that heater just a little bit lower and maybe a little bit cooler, so to speak, you can do it with that. I've done it, I've been doing it quite a while now, 3 years now, and it works really good. So if you want to try that out, try it out. Just be careful and make sure you monitor your heater, because sometimes if you don't put that O-ring on right, it'll go out. So it's just something you got to monitor. So again, I hope everybody's having a showing off great week, and I hope everybody's staying safe, especially in this weather that's still going on. It's we're under a hard freeze warning right now, and it is quite chilly outside. It's supposed to be about 15, 16 degrees in the morning, so cold. So if you in this you in the area where this Arctic blast is hitting, you stay safe. If you like this video, go and give it a thumbs up, they help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home of Six channel, Lord of mercy, y'all need to come over and give a damn look, because I'm always doing stuff like using the new 360 heater. With that being said, you know it's coming down, referee showing enough, always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody, you showing enough get your shine on. It's important, be you. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.